Hello and welcome to the British Dapper, and today we're talking about dress like a movie icon. Now I don't know about you, but I take inspiration from all sorts of places. If I'm walking down the street, I see somebody wear a certain outfit or an ensemble and it makes me think about, could I pull that off? And I see movies and I see TV series and I think when I see somebody in that, is that maybe a look that I might be able to emulate? Now don't get me wrong, I'm not talking about copycatting exactly what somebody is wearing, but we have a lot that we can learn from the movie icons of days gone by. And maybe with a little bit of modern interpretation on that, we can get a really good ensemble to wear when we're going out and about. So here are a number of inspirations that I get and the looks I've created from those iconic movie moments. So for example, this is taken loosely from an image of David Niven, and David Niven was renowned for wearing blazers and cravats, and I've just given it a little bit of a modern turn on that because I'm wearing a pink shirt, no different to his image, but the cravat is a little bit different. It's got a little bit of reds and blues in there, and I've picked some of the pinks up and the blues in the pocket square. You'll note that he didn't use a pocket square in the image, but the overall look with the peak lapel double-breasted blazer is very similar to what he portrays in this image. But what I have done is I've added a little bit of a modern twist on that. So I'm wearing a pair of light chinos and we're wearing those tobacco or toffee coloured suede loafers. Now they're very popular at the moment, and although that's a little bit of a fashion influence, but there's no reason why you couldn't introduce it into a classical look, as I've done here today. But it's something to consider that by taking some of the aspects of an image, interpreting it in a bit of a different way or a modern interpretation of it, and you can have a completely different look. Now, I'm not saying because it suits them it's going to suit you, but it's something to look at and get inspiration from. This is a short journey through a number of movie icons through the ages and the way that they have created an image that I've interpreted for this video. So the next image is about David Niven, and it's inspired by this image, and as you can see he's got a tie very similar to this, wearing a navy suit, white pocket square, and it's basically ambassador fold, white shirt, nice double cuffed shirt, French cuffed, nice cufflinks to go with that, and a silver plain watch. And we've paired that with a pair of black brogue shoes that are typically what he would wear back in the day. So I think overall not a bad look, and even in today's environment I think it's still a good look. So in the film he's wearing a raincoat similar to this, and I thought wearing it with the same style based on the principle of dressing like the film star, like the icon. The man himself regularly wore raincoats, and I think this is quite a good look that goes well with this overall look. So in some parts of the film he has the collar down on the raincoat, and in some he has it up. So I don't think it really matters either way. Personally, I would tend to have it up in this time of the year and wearing a raincoat in this day and age. But equally, it looks good either way. So here's some inspiration from Carrie Grant in To Catch a Thief, and I think even today you might get away with this in a casual setting, and quite a good look. Paired that with a pair of grey flannels, and whilst in the actual image we can see that he's wearing slightly lighter, more relaxed shoes, I've chosen to pair them with a pair of loafers that are suede loafers. Maybe not the ideal colour, but something along those lines might go really well. Maybe a navy loafer might go well with this look. But the cravat, whilst it doesn't match, it's picking up some of the reds in the actual overall look. And unfortunately the logo doesn't really help, but the overall aesthetic is quite similar to what we'd see in the actual film. And still, I think, even though a little bit dated maybe, still a good look in certain circumstances. So another movie icon would be quite simply the gladiator of them all, Kirk Douglas. And in this image you can see him wearing a blue overchecked Prince of Wales suit. Admittedly it's a peak lapel and we've only got a notched lapel jacket here, but the principle's the same. Wearing a simple ambassador fold on the pocket square. He's wearing a wool blue tie. I haven't got a wool blue one, so I've used something that's got a little bit of texture that would pass for a similar colour, and at a distance gives a similar sort of feel to it. And we're wearing some black brogue shoes with this, along with some grey socks, because there is an element of grey in the actual Prince of Wales suit. So when it comes to wearing a Harrington jacket, I automatically think of Steve McQueen. It was one of his go-tos in his normal everyday life, and being quite an adventurous person outside the film industry, he regularly would be on the bike scene or in racing cars, and therefore was quite an active person. This look always reminds me of him. And typically he would be seen wearing something this colour, Harrington jacket, pair of jeans or a pair of chinos, something along those lines, and he used to love his desert boots as a look. And so today, in homage to that, we're going to wear some of those outfits or examples similar to the ones that you'd see him in. So in this case, we're wearing fawn coloured Harrington jacket, pair of jeans, and just a straightforward polo shirt, closed at the top, pair of desert boots to go with that, some sand coloured desert boots. I have another version of that, and I'll show you that in a second, but something to bear in mind is that other film stars have also used a similar look. Jason Statham is another one that has used the Harrington jacket in some of his films, as well as James Bond as a character. So this is another version on that. Instead of wearing a dark black jacket or a dark navy one, because I tend to wear mine in more spring summer times, I find it too oppressive wearing a dark colour like that. It really does attract the heat, and it can actually be uncomfortable to wear it. So just a personal choice, I've gone for an olive green one, and this is another look. So here we have a look that is Harrington jacket. It's an olive green jacket, this one, and we've paired that with some beige chinos, powder blue shirt, and a pair of suede chukka boots. So with a combination of Sean Connery's films, I've cobbled together this look, which is based on these couple of images here. He did like wearing his grey suits and wore a black tie quite often with those, and very simple pocket square, folded, no complications, white shirt double cuffed, if not with a cocktail cuff, always impeccably dressed. And in this case we're using a three-piece grey suit, mid-grey, not quite a charcoal, and wearing some black brogue shoes. And I wore black brogue shoes because I thought this look really did require brogue shoes rather than Oxfords, which are a little bit more office based and not very adventurous at all really in their look. Yeah, in this image, as you can see, grey suit, black tie, we're wearing a white French cuff shirt, and with that we're wearing some black brogue shoes. So taking a look from Sean Connery's film Dr. No, part of his James Bond series of films, I've taken this look, which is a very casual look, some light blue trousers with a light blue polo shirt, and we paired that on this occasion with a pair of navy plimsolls, going with that nautical vibe that he was trying to portray in the film, albeit the shoes are a little bit different, but I think it still gives that aesthetic, that look, that feel, that vibe. And we paired that with a watch, blue-faced watch, a little bit of a nautical vibe with that as well, and I think it comes together quite nicely as an overall look, especially in the summer months, and very informal look. So when it comes to blue suits, I've noticed that Tom loves his blue suits, and he quite often wears them very simply with a ambassador fold handkerchief or pocket square, white shirt, black shoes, maybe a black watch, and a very simple but elegant tie. And so this tie is actually nice tie. It's got silver blue element to it, little speckles, and the suit itself is, whilst it's a navy suit, when the light catches it, it's quite light, almost a mid blue colour. And the shoes, in this case I've used black Loke shoes, and these are a Derby shoe, but I think they're more in keeping with his style and the way that he dresses, and I think it's not a bad look overall. The sort of clothes that he wears on a regular basis when he's suited and booted. So one of my favourite actors, Mark Strong. He has the physique and the height to carry off most looks, and this image actually made me think a little bit about introducing the colour purple and with a polka dot on it. And so therefore I thought, what about the overall look? So I've tied that together with wearing a black, very dark suit. Could get away with a really dark charcoal, touching onto a black, three-piece, single breasted, notched lapel. Picked up some of the accents of the purple in the pocket square and also in the tie. The tie is not exactly the same as the one in the image, but the idea is just to get the inspiration from it. And with that, we've actually paired that with a black waistcoat and using French cuff shirt, so we can use some cufflinks with that and raise the elegance level. And we paired that with a watch, nothing special, but we're using some brogue shoes. They're Derby shoes. They're not the most formal of shoes, but they are like an Italian cut, Italian design, so quite narrow at the toe, quite an elegant look, I think. Quite stylish in the way he dresses, and I picked out this ensemble based on one that he wore at a premiere. You'll notice it's a plain burgundy tie. I've used a Berry Overcheck Prince of Wales, not quite the same as him. It's a notched lapel rather than a peak lapel, but the principle's the same, and I think it still comes across well with the colour selection. So we've got a burgundy pocket square ambassador fold, burgundy tie, and we're wearing with that a pale blue shirt, and we used a simple watch, just picking up some of the colours to reflect off the colour of the shirt, wearing some black brogue shoes with that, classical look, quite stylish, and I think it's a very good look for many people to emulate. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give us a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe, then please feel free to do so. We have a Buy Me a Coffee page, and I'll put the link down below in the show notes. So if you'd like to make a contribution to the channel for future content, then please feel free to do so. We love constructive comments, so if you'd like to make some, jot them down below and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Until next time, take care.